Alrighty, so, 440. Well, where we're at with that. Decided not to try and fix the condenser of the points or whatever the heck was going on there. We bypassed the points. We put an external ignition module, which is like an external coil, I guess, or magneto coil, or magneto for the coil. And this thing's sparking bluer than it can be. I had it coughing, farting, breathing fire, ready to go. But, in the damn recoil. Spring broke on it. I tried bending it, fixing it, and every other damn thing, and I mean, no luck. So, a buddy of mine's ordered one from eBay, and we're gonna hopefully get this guy in order sooner or later. But like I said, doesn't matter how long it takes, I'll find the parts and I'll get her going. But at any rate, let's move on to today's project. We're gonna put a primer bubble on the Poulan. Alright, listen, this is gonna be fun. Hey guys, I'm sorry. I guess the part that I tried to film of me taking the cover and everything off got, or I guess I didn't hit play or whatever the heck it is. But it's very simple. You got 4 screws that you just take off, and this guy comes off. You can remove this for ease of removal. That's what I did. I took the top cover off. Just because you can get up here and get that thing wiggled and off and easy, and then it goes back on just as easy too. So yeah, sorry about that. That's my fault. That's a user. Can't even blame that one on the camera. But anyways, fortunately, it's a simple enough explanation. Just take your 4 screws. So that's not a screw. That's your idle adjustment. But that one, there's a screw. Someone has actually put a Robinson in that one. But the rest of them are still OEM. But I mean, if it holds tight, it holds tight. But anyways, that's how it is. Sorry about that. Moving on. And before we move on, one other thing that I forgot to mention that was on that part, or was supposed to be on that part, is this is not the proper style of primer ball per se. It works, obviously, but it is one of these with the screw mounts, where this one was actually, you take that off, which is funny enough. I don't know why they designed it that you have to take the cover out to take a clip one out, but it's a rear clip style one, so they have actually, and I would show you the original one, but I've misplaced it. I must have knocked it in behind the box or something like that. But anyways, it would have clips that come off the back, and then you push that into the hole, instead of the screw mount ones. So what I've done is I've just made a kind of compression fitting with it in the cowling, and that seems to work just fine. The only difference between this and that was concerning is the distance or the thickness of this plate here, whereas the other one was basically about that much shorter. But didn't seem to make much of a difference because there seems to be a bit of a cavity there anyways, and it went on just fine, as you're about to see. Alright, moving on. Okay, so even though it's not the proper part, it does work. You can see I've got fuel priming through it. It is hooked up. I mean, any primer ball will work when hooked up. The lines are awful short. I mean, in a pinch you can always kind of reconfigure the thing, but we'll just see. I think this will go back together without a whole lot of fuss. Yeah, that's going to go back together fine. So, yeah, basically, make sure that you reconnect your lines from the return line to the suction line, right? So one line's going to suck fuel through the carburetor, and the other line's going to put it back into the tank. So whatever line's going back into the tank is your return line, so that's going to be the one blowing through, and then the one coming from the carburetor is the one sucking the fuel of the line. So just make sure that you line those buggers up, and then yeah, just screw the thing down. Nothing to it. So I'll get back to you when we get this thing screwed down, and we'll fire it up, prime it up, and fire it up. But yeah, here, take a look. That's what the old one looked like. And like I said, you can make them run like that, but it's not great, and you might as well make your chunks of the rubber in your carb, like it's, well, I guess you wouldn't. It might go back to the gas tank, and then there's a fuel filter, so you should be fine in theory. But all the same, it's not a pleasant thing. Oh, I'm holding it under the light there, so I can see it. I don't know that so much you guys can see it. But yeah, pretty gnarly looking thing, isn't it? But at any rate, let's get this button back down. Okay, so we went ahead, we reconnected the primer ball, and it buttons back together just fine. No problem with the aftermarket Chinese one. So that's a nice cheap fix for any of you guys that got these Poulans, or anything similar. I'm sure you can make it fit most any saw with an external primer bulb. Which reminds me, what you want to do when you hook these up, just a reminder, you want to make sure that you have the line that's pulling, which you can usually just push it on your thumb and it'll suck on your thumb. So the one that's sucking coming from the carburetor, and the one that's pushing going back into the fuel tank. So you want it sucking through the intake line, because there's a filter on the intake and there's not so much on the return line. And I think the reason why they do that is probably more like the fear of blowing it off by priming it too hard enough time. But on the intake line you don't have that issue. So therefore you prime the line that way, and that's the proper way to do it. And I don't know if you can see there, beautiful new little primer bulb. Nice and shiny and clean. The rest of the saw still needs a cleanup, but I'll do that before I post it. But she's for sale as of after this video. By the time it's posted online, this thing will be on the market. And I did goof off with it a little bit. It's a pretty decent little saw, and I did it without the proper primer bulb on it, so it's probably only a little better now. Which I guess you're all wondering, oh, does it run? Oh, did you screw it up? I don't think so. I'd say it runs. Anyways, so that's my little primer bulb thing. That's how I'm going to do it, and for this one it seems to work. Everything seems to have a different little bag of tricks ahead for you, so you know, you adapt to what you need to do. So if you need to get an OEM part, then you have to get an OEM part, but in this case this Chinese one worked. And that's a nice cheap fix for any of you guys that you know, that do your own repairs. That's 25 bucks, you get 5 of them. So I got 4 more bulbs for the next 4 Poulans, or whatever the hell or heck I need to use them on. Sorry for the slip there, guys. But anyways, that's all I got for this video. So I'm going to move on to the next project. And well, I might film that one, so you might see that online too eventually. But yeah, this little guy is going to be for sale now, so keep your eye out on Kijiji if you're in Ontario. But at any rate, take her easy, and we'll see you next time. Be safe.